Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Drop Frames. Wow, what a world final for the Soccers. Zeke, let's go to you. How do you feel about the penalty shootouts?
I think that they were on their game. They had nothing but focus, concentration. I think they took advantage of the left side of the keeper. The left side of the keeper
Why
had
are you
been
guys scratching my
notoriously
back?
bad.
I don't like it. Go ahead.
The keepers had problems with the left side all year, and they took full advantage of that, faking right, shooting left, and making the goal for Brazil and not Canada.
It was Brazil. I gotta say, I had never seen any type of balls and goals like that. You know, you gotta get the ball into the goal to get the point. And only then, when you get the most points, will your team win. And to see those guys kick those balls, I tell you, the energy and the soul in the ball kicking with not using hands was just phenomenal. And when that ball went in the goal, I tell you, it was a point.
That is correct, Co. Balls in goals do score you points, and you cannot use your hands. I'm sure all of the fans out there are stunned by the new rule changes this year.
Crazy enough, the guys that got more of the balls in the goals actually ended up winning the entire thing.
Now, I have a follow-up for both of you. Does this secure Messi as the best soccer player of all time?
No, I think he's a footballer, JP.
Oh.
Thank you for saying that. That was the whole point.
Who was in contention for best
Argentina
of all time?
Oh, that I don't know. I couldn't name you the best footballer of all time.
I've heard of Messi, Pele.
Yes, probably Pele.
There's one more though.
Who was the guy that played on that awesome team?
Ronaldo,
they were it was all the kung fu. That dude was great.
What? There's a kung fu fighter?
Yeah, like Shaolin soccer or something. That guy. How is he not the best?
Might have been true.
Cheating. Magic is cheating.
They curve balls like bullets.
It's true. It's true. That all happened. That's all a real thing. Anyways, those are our thoughts on the 2022 FIFA World Cup that just concluded. Congratulations
By the way,
to Spoiler.
I named 3 of the 4 soccer players or football players that I know. The only other one is Beckham. And that, not because he's great. I don't know if he's good or whatever.
Because
he's like a celebrity.
Yeah, he's a big celebrity in England. Yeah. I think he's retired now too.
He dated a flavor chick or whatever.
He married her. I think they have multiple kids. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Spicy. I think they named their children after the place where they did it, where they had sex. They have a Brooklyn, and I think they have another one with a city name.
Is that real? What?
Yeah. I think so.
All right. I didn't know that. Apparently he owns an MLS team. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they have a little boy Brooklyn and a little girl airport bathroom.
Nice.
They call it AB for short. Yeah.
Classic.
Got to give that one up.
Boy. Man, so we started this show and old Elon tried to... I thought this was going to... I mean, it kind of does affect us as streamers, but I thought this Twitter support ruling that just came out was basically saying you can't promote Twitch. But what it says is we recognize that many of our users are active on other social media platforms. However, we will no longer allow free promotion of certain social media platforms on Twitter. Specifically, we'll remove accounts created solely for this purpose of promoting other social platforms and content that contain links to usernames for the following platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Mastodon, Truth Social, Tribal, Nostr, and
Truth Social?
Yeah, those are out.
Is Elon trying to anger the God Emperor? What is this?
I guess so.
What was the last one?
Post. I don't know what Post is. Yeah.
Okay.
And you'll never know now, thanks to Elon.
That's right. We'll never be able to speak its name. Do you think this goes to
Twitch and OnlyFans still there? Good.
Yeah, I mean, for now, like I could envision a world where you're just not allowed to post anything. Also, you can post Hive, I guess.
Hive's still cool, apparently.
Yeah, Hive's still cool.
Maybe he doesn't feel threatened by Hive yet.
Yeah. It says, we'll still allow cross-posting content from any social media platform. Posting links or usernames to social media platforms not listed above are also not in violation of this policy. Okay, so there you go. We could still post Twitch, YouTube, all that stuff. So we're in the clear for now.
Oh my good God, man.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Some folks in my chat saying it's actually against EU regulation to do that, so don't expect it to stay around for long.
Oh, really? To like block?
I wonder what that would fall under, but
yeah.
And we'll see.
Huh. Okay.
Fuck, man.
What?
I don't want to fucking build another goddamn social media.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Can
impossible.
They just oust him or something?
It's
Jesus
impossible
Christ.
at this point. it's tough. You got to just, Zeke, you got to go viral. That's all that matters anymore. You just got to do something that makes you go viral. And then you can get some followers.
God.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Good luck. I don't know what that is.
I mean, okay. So say Twitter bans links to Twitch.
Uh-huh.
Do you just like do the
I'm live on that website.
You know where to find me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just allude to it. I'm guessing they're going to be trolling for like specific off the site URLs. So as long as you're not doing that. I mean, a lot of people these days don't even do like their Twitch URL anymore. They'll do like Twitch arrow and then their name and stuff like that. Because there's this thing going around for the longest time that putting links in your tweet actually dropped it in the algorithm.
Right.
So people stopped doing that. So, you know, it's who knows, man.
Yeah.
The keyword with Twitter. Go ahead.
I would reply to my live tweets with my link.
Yeah. People are doing that too. What were we gonna say? Go. What's the keyword?
I was just gonna say the keyword with Twitter right now, and maybe with one or two of the people running it, is fragile.
Yeah.
Every decision that's happened in the last like week has led to a real root of fragility in a lot of ways.
You said
it's been an interesting week for sure.
Dude, did you see? I'm sure you guys saw like Elon popped into
the call.
What are those called? The
space.
The Twitter community.
The Twitter space. Yeah.
Yeah, he jumped into a Twitter space, asked a very journalistic question. He left Twitter Spaces and then deleted Twitter Spaces altogether.
Yeah, and then after they
took
came
his
back,
ball and went home.
Oh, it gets worse. After the Twitter Spaces came back, the person that made that Twitter Space was also removed from Twitter. She got banned. Yeah. So it's yeah.
It's a thing.
Can you see the end game for this for him? Can you see the end game? Like, do you see what I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how he's going to get Doctor Strange to summon the portals, and who's going to go and support him in the war against.
He's already seeking major investors. Obviously, the ad revenue is probably tanked completely, which is one of the things that was keeping it afloat. So at this point, I mean, Twitter is very quickly, if it's not already going to be an albatross around Elon's neck. So I would assume that the end game is him getting out of there. Him either somehow giving it to someone else or forming a group and having them run it, or him as the face is clearly not working out.
Yeah.
There's a core of people that are behind him, but the general population clearly is not. So,
someone obviously something that we always think about is the end game is money. Someone in your chat said that, the end game is always money. It's this is not making him money. It's not only tanking Twitter, it's tanking Tesla stock.
Yeah.
It's tanking his brand.
Yeah.
His brand touches all of his companies.
Is going down.
It's tanking his brand. Yes, it is draining. Now, granted, he's a multi-billionaire. So I mean, he could tank for the rest of his life and still have more money than any of us will ever see. But I mean, here's the thing: when you have that much money, and we've talked about this a lot on past shows, there comes a point in a billionaire's life where it is no longer about how much money they have, because that's why they got to where they want. What happens is it becomes about that value going up. That's all they care about. All they care about is numbers go up. So I guarantee you that he is not a happy camper right now and trying to figure out any way he can to make those numbers start going back up again. if it involves him at the head of Twitter or not. Remember, he tried to pull out of the deal. I mean, he
did.
tried to get out. He tried not to do this. So this, like, there's many factors that point to him wanting to. I mean, for all we know, everything he's been doing is a coordinated, calculated thing to tank the company so he can, for a good reason, sell it for less easier. Like, all of this could be. I mean, it's all a game to him anyway. We know that for a fact. And all of this stuff he could be doing. The whole, like, I'm gonna announce free speech and then ban people. Like, that could have been his plan. That could be his plan. Like, he knows that he's doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah. People saying, nah, that's just dumb. I mean, just saying. I mean, he didn't get to where he is by being a complete idiot. I think a lot of people forget that. A lot of people are like, oh, Elon's so dumb. He makes such bad decisions. I mean, think about the guy. What you want. I wouldn't say that he's an idiot in terms of knowing how to make money.
Yeah, I mean, you don't just waltz into making 200 billion.
Yeah, granted, he started with his foot in the door, no question.
100%. Yeah,
still, like, yeah, he's not a complete idiot.
Those
I don't like him. I don't like Elon Musk. I will still be one of the first to admit he is not an idiot. Like, the dude. Don't get me wrong. He freaks out sometimes and acts like a kid, and I'm totally behind the fragile thing. I think a lot of his decisions are reactionary based on his feelings, big time. But there's a long game at play. There absolutely is a long game at play. And I don't think anyone really knows what it is quite yet.
He might not even know at this point. He'll still.
I will say, going from the decisions he was making at the beginning of Twitter, like trying this didn't work, roll it back. Trying this didn't work, roll it back. I mean, I think it is pretty clear to everyone he doesn't really know where it's going in the short term.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't be surprised if there was a long term, either get him out of the company or something to that he's working toward.
Yeah.
I just wish I understood, because it feels like a video game or a murder mystery or something like that, where everything is super confusing, and then at the end, like, the end game is revealed, and you're like, oh my god. Right now, like, I mean, I'm not expecting that to happen. I'm just saying, like, that's what it feels like. It feels like there's going to be this huge, like, fucking twist at the end that, like, kind of makes it make sense. And I'm not hopeful that that's coming.
Yeah, I don't know what the end game to all of it is as well. I can't, I don't know.
All of us are along for the ride.
We're all along for the ride because we're on Twitter, right? I will say this, as someone, if I remove the importance of, like, Twitter in my everyday business and all of our everyday business, it's been really fun to watch the past week. Like, it's been a fucking meltdown almost every day with all the craziness. Even this morning, with him banning all these other things, it's kind of funny as shit to watch because it's just a meltdown after meltdown after meltdown.
As somebody who doesn't really care about Twitter, it is definitely a form of entertainment. I'd agree with you there. Just seeing what crazy shit is going to happen next.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as my Twitter presence goes, it's like, working in an office building and the CEO of whatever company is just, like, throwing PCs and, like, flipping over desks and shit like that. And I feel like I'm a janitor, just like, I'm just mopping. Dude, I'm just mopping back here.
You're just hearing the stories.
Don't pay attention to me, dude. I just need this job. I need this Twitter for my other thing. It's promoting my other thing.
That's why I signed up to Twitter.
Exactly.
If Twitter disappeared tomorrow, it just kind of,
yeah,
it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, what else is going on in the world of news? Not much. We're in kind of the final weeks here of 2022. Things have slowed down. John Carmack.
So real quick,
go ahead.
Before we move on, did who won? Argentina or France?
Argentina.
They did. Okay. Just curious.
Right? Yes, I think that's correct. I watched the game.
I think someone was laughing
because
because someone made a huge bet.
A couple people
and lost.
Did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's money across the world.
Well, someone we know.
A couple large content.
Was it
creators.
XQC that did that or whatever?
I think Cavill too.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh,
they both publicly bet $500,000. Yeah, I believe both on. I know XQC did on France.
Great. Guys, they're gonna need your Prime subs over there. Make sure you go help them out. Okay, they need it.
$500,000.
It's gonna be rough over there. Make sure to drop 100 gifted as well. Every bit helps. Jesus. Anyways, what's going on in video games? I don't know the specific reasons. I do know that John Carmack left Meta and he resigns as the executive consultant for VR.
He said why.
What was the reason? Was it Facebook sucks or something?
He said it was one of the worst managed companies he'd ever worked with.
Okay, those are some strong
let me
words.
find the exact quote here.
Did he? Oh, he posted it on Facebook. Every time I go to facebook.com, I just feel like it's somehow going to log me in. And then my family's going to be like, oh, you're on the Facebooks again. Here, have you seen this recipe? No, I don't want to know about any of this. Don't log me in. Let's see where it's at. Internal post to the company got leaked to the press. Are we reading the same thing here, Co?
Oh, there's so many articles about it now. I have
Okay.
no idea. I'm trying to find the quote that I saw. The thing that I saw was a one-liner.
So I noticed as chat noticed,
Nice, JP,
whatever you're
nice.
looking at, reflection in your glasses makes your eyes look super creepy.
Is it doing it right now, or do I just look weird staring at the
You gotta
camera?
look at where you were looking before. Down there, closer down. There it is, right there. Down a little bit more. There it is. Yep, right there. Whatever it is, it's like sort of flesh colored, like you're flesh colored. So it's really weird looking. I took a screenshot of it. It looks creepy as fuck.
Great.
I mean, really, the only thing. I mean, it's clear you're a witch, and I think this is.
This is what happens when you look at Facebook.com.
Oh,
you're
reflecting something greenish, and it's chroma keying it out.
Which is there's only two things green: sign up and create new account on Facebook.com. Everything else is just like a giant blue and white page with some text on it. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Anyway, you got the quote, Co?
No, I can't find it. But the TLDR is that he just felt that the company was extremely inefficient and that he tried to change it from the inside and couldn't do it, and just became a bit much.
Yeah, well,
there's no way to sugarcoat this. I think our organization is operating at half the effectiveness that would make me happy. Some may scoff and contend that we are doing just fine, but others will laugh and say, half? I'm at quarter efficiency.
Jeez. Well,
yeah,
I would say that's bad. I don't really know.
Oh, who's John Carmack? He made Doom, didn't he? Wasn't he like he was the first id guy, wasn't he?
Yes, he is kind of the architect for.
He's one of the godfathers of gaming.
Yeah.
He was
Wolfenstein,
Warren
Quake,
Spector,
all that stuff.
That crew. Yeah, John Romero. Like those guys they're industry legends of yore that have, like many of the others, kind of gone off to do different things. He went off to work on VR. Romero's still doing games. Warren Spector actually has some games coming out, which is pretty cool. But yeah, he kind of took a segue into the VR area and now leaving it rather disenfranchised, unfortunately.
Yeah. So we'll see what, I guess, if there's any ramifications of any of that anywhere. What else? Insomniac came out and said Marvel Spider-Man 2 will be coming out in fall 2023. I don't, it's kind of strange after the Game Awards I don't know why they weren't at the Game Awards with that. Maybe the trailer wasn't ready or whatever. But that's coming out. So that's exciting. Speaking of the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley came out and said that the Game Awards hit a new viewership milestone this year with 103 million live streams. It is the most watched Game Awards in history, and he's continuing on to just grow that brand. It said on Twitter, TJ delivered 11.5 million video views of the live stream with a 28% increase in conversation volume year over year, 33% increase in unique authors, and 31% increase in the Game Awards hashtag usage. The show trended #1 worldwide, including all top 5 worldwide trends. And the Steam Deck giveaway was definitely a big hit. On Steam, over 9.5 million unique customers viewed the Game Awards live stream, with a peak audience of over 850K concurrent users. A lot of MILF hunters out there trying to get their Steam Decks is what Keely's up to, saying.
Okay.
Yeah. Sonic Frontiers sold over 2.5 million copies worldwide so far. That's crazy. Because that game is it's a solid 7 from all accounts, I think. I guess the Sonic brand is still strong, though, is what you could take from that. Co, I want to go to you with this because I didn't watch it, but I think you did. I remember seeing it in your stream title. There was a stream that Diablo did this past week, and they announced that the collector's edition does not include the game, and the internet did what the internet always does and lost their fucking mind over this. So what happened with this whole thing?
Okay, so I only caught the first 25 minutes, so basically no actual gameplay or discussion about the game. It was all about this kit, and the TLDR is honestly, it's not a big deal at all.
Weird.
I'd be the first to say if it was, but here's the thing. Over the last 2 weeks, I have spent $300, $350, $400, $300 on various different collector's editions, from Baldur's Gate 3 to new Star Wars to, all sorts of collector's editions that have been announced and the pre-order came up.
Yeah.
What Blizzard did is instead of doing a big $300 collector's edition, they have a $100 collector box. And then $60, $80, $90 versions of Diablo 4.
Smart.
So if you want to buy the top version of Diablo and the collector's box, it's like $200, which is actually a lot cheaper than most other companies' collector's edition. Now, granted, their collector's box is arguably not super good. Like it's a candle.
Do they have
and some other stuff?
Let's see.
But they actually did a full unboxing on YouTube afterwards. But that's all they did. It's not it's literally just for people that want collector stuff. That plus the game is still significantly less expensive than a lot of other collector's editions. It's just they just like basically cut the price of what that would be in half and didn't put the game in it.
Yeah.
So
I think that's pro-consumer. Is that too far to say?
Nothing Blizzard is pro-consumer, but it's a different way to approach getting your money. It's a good way to think about it. It's a different way to approach it.
I did see people are upset because the candle's apparently fake. Candle don't work.
Yeah, dude, that made me angry too. It's plastic. The whole thing's plastic. It's just some little plastic.
It's not real wax. Yeah.
No, it's not.
But
real
it
wax.
lights up though.
Yes, it does light up.
Okay.
Light up.
Okay.
I think it lights up. Pretty sure it lights up.
Why would you want that candle?
Plastic.
To summon Lilith.
Obviously.
What do you mean? You gotta do some.
There's somebody in chat. Hey, plastic burns too. No, I mean you're not
Don't
wrong.
smell the burn. If you smell
Please
plastic,
don't do that.
go
We're not
to
advocating
the doctor.
that, but you're not wrong. Yeah.
Or call the fire department. Yeah.
That reminds me of a comment that was much said during playing Persona 5. It's like, oh, this enemy's weak to bullets. They were like, everybody's weak to bullets. It's like, yeah, everything can burn if the fire's hot enough. Like, yes,
Yeah.
plastic can also burn. Good job.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm already a little bit worried with Diablo because, like, Diablo 3 was the quote unquote early days of internet craziness and losing their mind over stuff. We've got till June for this, and like I'm already worried. I'm already tired of it, and I'm already worried about like the conversation around Diablo 4. It's gonna be a long 6 months. Like everything that happens about and around this game is gonna be scrutinized to like the nth degree. And man, it's gonna get crazy. I don't even know, like apart from Diablo 4, I don't know what game would be scrutinized to like this level. After like Immortal, it's just been heightened to unseen heights within the gaming. I guess Hogwarts maybe. Like the conversation around Hogwarts Legacy will probably be that. That comes out in I think February. But that's a completely different type of conversation and maybe even a different type of user base entirely with the conversation around that. I don't know.
Well,
how much
it's like the
crossover
difference
there will
between
be.
the buzz around like a street performer like doing juggling act and a fist fight on the street for people gathering around.
Yeah, that's probably right. That's
They
probably
might
right.
draw the same crowd, but they got different reasons for
Yeah,
drawing a crowd.
yeah. Speaking of Hogwarts Legacy, they came out and said that they are delaying the launch for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One version till April 4th, and July 25th for the Switch version. They're still holding the date for February. I think the end of February for PS5, PC, and Xbox One. They had like a gameplay showcase as well this past week, which people seem to enjoy. Have you guys been following anything about that game? Do you plan to play that game at all? Is this too political of a conversation? Like, how do you guys feel about Hogwarts Legacy?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those really tough ones because that game has a lot of baggage,
Yeah,
and what it comes down to, just like a lot of things in life, is do you choose to partake? Is the amount of baggage a game has something that do you want to play the game more? The amount of baggage the game has. Like, it's a value, right? It's a value. Like, and for me, I'm not a big Harry Potter fan. I do love games. I love good games.
yeah.
And it is shaping up to look like a really good game. But man, like the game's got baggage, got a lot of baggage. So, if there are other things out at the time, there's a very good chance I may not touch it. If it's the only thing out that's good at the time, like,
Let's see what
I don't
comes
know,
out
man.
against it.
I don't know. It's a whole thing.
Let me
It's
see
a
what
whole
comes
thing.
out. So
My contention is there's so many games out there. I can avoid that game easily. I can avoid any game
Yeah.
easily if there's any sort of like ill will attached to it. And yeah, I mean, like, and how shitty would I be if I was like, I'm gonna play the Harry Potter game sitting here in my fucking Pride shirt? Like,
Jesus.
like, of course I'm gonna play Harry Potter. Don't look at this.
In terms of other games coming out around it, Hogwarts Legacy comes out on the 10th. That Wanted Dead game, which is kind of like a Devil May Cry-ish game, that comes out on the 14th on Valentine's Day. And then Wild Hearts, the EA Monster Hunter on the 17th. And then on the 21st, I think the two of you will have to make a decision because Atomic Heart and Like a Dragon Ishin both come out on the same day. So there's not too much around Legacy release. It looks like the back half of February is more stacked with big releases. God, there's like the week of the 21st through the 28th there's a lot of stuff. Atomic Heart, Like Dragon Ishin, Horizon Call the Mountain, the PlayStation VR 2 release, Blood Bowl 3, Sons of the Forest, Company Heroes 3, Octopath Traveler 2, Kerbal Space Program 2, and then on the 28th, Destiny 2 Lightfall. And that wraps up. And then I guess Darkest Dungeon 2 is somewhere in that mix as well, if they're still holding true to that February release date.
I don't.
I would be surprised if they do, but
I don't know, man. I certainly feel like we haven't really been seeing them wind down yet. Let me take a look and see the latest update.
Yeah, they were posting some updates this past week or past 2 weeks, something like that, about things that they were adding to the game. I don't know much about it, but
game's awesome though. I mean, I played Darkest Dungeon a long time ago, and it felt great then.
Yeah. I think we all played it. It's great. It's fantastic. Should be a good one whenever that comes out.
Oh, DD2 did get pushed. Did they officially announce that?
Cool. What else do we got? Either of you jump into the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt stuff, the next gen update? Any of you guys boot it up just to see what it looks like? Are you planning something, Co? To play it at least?
I'm planning on playing it eventually, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I did a relatively recent Witcher 3 run, like just a year or two ago. Didn't finish Blood and Wine. So I'll probably wait until like the next big Witcher project gets close and do a big replay.
Cool. Zeke, any?
I mean, it's the same thing essentially. A little bit of extra content, just looks a lot better.
It's the same game. It looks better. Yeah, that's exactly right. Which, if you played it with mods, I guess my question is like, how much better does it look? I haven't seen any of the footage of it, but they've added like proper RTX and all that stuff. So that's cool.
So you're talking about the Witcher remakes?
Yeah, The Witcher 3. It's not even a remake. It's just they like upgrade.
It's a free. A big free update. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about
It's
like aren't they re-releasing Witcher 1 and 2?
1.
Yes, they're
Yeah.
re-releasing
one.
Witcher
Okay.
Witcher 1, but they've also announced that the re-release of Witcher 1 is coming after the next installment of the Witcher franchise, which is really sucks. I kind of wish they would do that the other way. I feel like that'd be a lot better, but
Yeah.
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 I might play Witcher 1 again after the update because I played it on CD-ROM. Like it wasn't during CD-ROM time, but it was like one of those like seminal games that everybody just loved, and I was like, okay, let's see what all the fuss is about. And it was kind of one of my, if I'm not mistaken, one of my first forays into like doing retro shit. And I really liked it. I enjoyed the shit out of it. They're like, nah, you can just go to 2. And I was like, no, look, play 1. And I enjoyed my time with it, man. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Old controls aside, the jank aside that you just kind of have to deal with. It was fun. It was really good. And I might play it again just because everyone knows how much like I hate the main character of the game, but I like the game itself.
Right. We'll see. We got some Warcraft news. The senior VP and general manager of the Warcraft franchise, John Haidt, took to Twitter and announced that Chris Metzen is back and has joined the Warcraft leadership team as creative advisor. He goes on to say Chris's focus initially will be on World of Warcraft, then his work will expand to other projects across the growing franchise. Chris was one of the original team members working on the Warcraft universe back when it began in 1994. We are so happy to be reuniting him with the world that he helped create. Chris left Blizzard 2 years ago, maybe even more than that, and did kind of a tabletop game. It was a pretty successful Kickstarter. I think it was Kickstarter, if I recall correctly. And now he's back. For people that don't recognize the name, you might recognize him as the For the Horde guy at BlizzCon from back in the day. He would go out there and like hype and amp the crowd up. That was his thing, and it worked. He was very good at that. And in terms of everything that he worked on in Warcraft, he was pretty good at that too. Oh, he's the voice of Thrall as well. If you've ever seen him speak in a cutscene, so good things for World of Warcraft. Seems like people are kind of up in terms of mood on that game. Dragonflight seems to be trucking along. I think the raid came out. I want to say the race for World First is still on right now on Twitch. Viewership's been pretty good for it. So seems like people are excited about World of Warcraft again, which is a strange thing, but kind of expected, I guess, after all of that stuff. Because when you're as low as it was, you can only really go back up at that point. Chat saying 6 out of 8 have been killed in the race to World First as of recording. So, yeah,
this is one of those expansions that they give you 10 more levels or something.
Yeah, you got 10 more levels in Dragonflight. They changed kind of the leveling process. They changed a lot of the issue was that you would have to do like world quest stuff to increase your character's power, but now it's all just done through Mythic Pluses, which is kind of their dungeoning system in terms of difficulty and raids and whatnot. So they did some pretty big core changes to the game, and fans seem to be enjoying that. They added a bunch of like not hidden or secret, but they're not proper quests for like things to do in the world to get like mounts, but it's talk to a random NPC and the NPC will say, hey, go collect these 3 things. You don't really get a quest, but you still go do it and you get rewarded with some cool mounts and things like that. It's keeping people busy. Seems like people are really enjoying the expansion from everything that I've seen. I played till the cap and did a couple mythics and got my money's worth for what I was looking for. So, but then
now this is completely
out.
different from like the re-release of classic shit, right?
What do you mean?
Yep. Yes, this is
not. They re-released
related.
like Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, right?
Yeah.
Different servers.
And different servers. Okay, different servers.
All yeah. Right. If the way it works is if you have a subscription to World of Warcraft, you can play on the classic servers. That's all you need. You don't have to buy anything apart from that. And then if you want to play like Dragonflight or any of the other expansions, I guess if you buy Dragonflight, you might just get access to everything at that point. I don't know exactly how that works because I've always owned the prior expansion. But yeah, it's $40 product, I think, for Dragonflight to buy in for the expansion. Maybe 40. I don't know the exact price of it. But yeah.
Is that what they're going to do, you think, moving forward?
With how they're going to stagger like the classic and live stuff?
Oh, no. The payment. Like they're going to like every extension is going to be something you pay for, or
yeah, I mean it's always been that way. MMOs in general
has it?
have
Oh,
always
shit. Sorry.
yeah, like MMOs in general have always charged for the expansion. It's just
Okay.
it's the every 2 year. It's how you get the user base to spend another $30 to $60 depending on the game,
Right.
and then keep up with the.
But with the
subs.
hours you put into it, if you're into it, like fuck, man, that's value.
Yeah. That's true. Baldur's Gate did their big event on was that Monday or Tuesday? One of the days.
A day. One of those days that ended Y.
Yeah. Co, you watched that. What all did they showcase? What all did they show?
We knew that Minsk was coming back. Minsk,
right.
And Boo. What we didn't know and found out is that Matt Mercer's voicing him, of course.
Sure.
Of course. We also found out about the Paladin class and how that's going to function. There was the big new update with the rank 5 spells, level 5 spells, which is a huge increase in power for D&D fans. That's big. And it was just another entertaining, awesome panel from hell with big announcements. And we know the date now, so they're working towards it, and everything's looking good for that. Pretty freaking awesome.
Have they talked about like how high in level they want to go? Are they thinking 20 or 10, or do we know any idea of like where the game's going to go level wise?
I want to say 12 or 14. We know, chat? Around 10 to 12.
That's okay. That sounds about right.
12 was stated. 12 they said. Okay, there we go.
Gotcha. Yeah, because if they go any higher than that, I don't know how you keep that within a game world.
Who voices Matt Mercer? Oh, Troy Baker.
Also true.
Troy Baker voices Matt Mercer, who then voices the character.
Also true. Yeah. That's very true.
And then,
if you play Fem Mercer, you get Laura Bailey.
No, you still get Matt Mercer.
Oh, okay.
Is he doing a Laura Bailey impersonation though, or impression?
No, it's Chris Pratt as Laura Bailey via Matt Mercer.
Voice acting's a weird industry, guys.
It's a weird industry, man.
Yeah,
it really is.
That's all we need to say there. I think that's pretty much it for game news. Anything else, you guys?
Little bit of interesting news. Shout out to my buddy Azir in my chat. Apparently, Microsoft is flirting with a cheaper Game Pass that includes advertising.
Oh.
So this is going to be a thing. It was already a super good value, so I'm wondering how much lower they're going to do it. And what those ads would look like considering that you would theoretically be getting ads while you play game. Not a streaming
it's going to be like pop up.
So I don't know how they would do that, but apparently there's stuff in the article is they're doing like focus groups and seeing like what would you do? How far can we go? Essentially, stuff like that. So.
Yeah, he said ads, chat. I don't. We're talking about ads. He cut off for a second. Ads in game.
Oh, what did they think I said?
They couldn't hear it for some reason. Your the thing.
It's not ass.
No,
that's a completely different
Microsoft is not including ass. He's including ads. The potentially flirting with the idea. I guess it depends on what they look like on where I sit on that. If they lower it enough so that more people can grab it, then I'm all for that as long as the ads aren't like massively intrusive to the actual experience. So also like
the more people playing games, the better.
Yeah. Well, it's also like what are those ads for? Right? Like what are they for? Games on Game Pass? Are they for like Microsoft games? Are they for
probably partners?
Yeah, like partners
and
stuff. I don't know.
Things like that. Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't know. I'm sure they will put out something if they go down that path. Speaking of Game Pass, not necessarily super big news, but on the 12th this past week, Riot linked up their games to the whole service. So now for League of Legends, I now have 160 characters to be completely awful with and never win a game, and competitive mode. And Valorant, I have all the champions now, which is great to also play and lose every single game with, apart from the one that I play. I think every game that Riot has in there, you get some sort of benefit. TFT, you get something. I don't play TFT, so I can't really speak to what it is, but it's kind of an insane package in with the base level Game Pass. I would have expected that to be like at a higher level than just the normal Game Pass, but as long as you have it and you play any of the Riot games, it's definitely worth linking if you have not done so already. Zeke, any other news for you? Anything this past week?
No, I just we were talking about Twitter earlier and all the sites that are going away. Something I was made aware of just now was also link aggregator sites like Linktree. Those are gone too. Those are out. So, and I have one, so can't use Linktree or whatever. Those are there's a few of them. Had to fucking. I just went in my profile and changed that shit. That sucks.
Yeah.
So we know you guys like your electronic mail, your email, but really, I mean, Twitter PMs are good. So we're banning all emails off of Twitter. Nope, can't use them anymore. No more linking, no more anything. Just send Twitter PMs. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Same thing.
What if you have a custom? Is it just like, did they explicitly state link aggregator, Zeke?
It says third-party social media link aggregators such as Linktree, InkBio, and that's what it says.
I guess it's blanket any of them. Yeah. Personal website with links, etc. Yeah. We'll see if that lasts. If that.
And you can't put it. You can't put these things in your. You can't link to them, but you also can't put follow me at username on Instagram, username at Mastodon. You can't check out my profile on Facebook. Fucking hell, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go back.
No, I didn't know that.
But
it's useful information.
I thought that was important to mention.
Yeah, it's useful information and a little wild.
Not really gaming news, but Cavill's doing a 40K thing, which is awesome.
Yeah.
For the Emperor, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. I wonder if that's what got him to leave Witcher. I wonder if that was the kind of because I doubt something like this just sprung up overnight. Him being the leader of an IP for Amazon, an Amazon project.
Right.
So
That's
apparently
how it works.
It's kind of interesting. So some stuff came out about Cavill on Witcher, and they're trying to paint it like he was really hard to work with.
I saw that.
And and that he was becoming insufferable. At the same time that you read what he was doing, where he was he kept making sure that scenes were the source material, and he kept rewriting things to be more like the characters in book. And he granted the stuff he was doing seemed kind of messed up. He would literally, according to this story, he would show up to a scene and give everyone new lines essentially, which is probably not the best way to do that.
Yeah.
But in the same vein, it kept saying over and over how he was he didn't want it to just be about him taking his shirt off. He wanted it to be about The Witcher and the source material, and everyone was not having that. So Netflix gave him a warning, and they were like, "Stop talking to the writing team." And then he went to his trailer and blanket shot out an email to the writing team, and they're like, "Get off the set."
Yeah. there was also a lot of red-pilled incel type language attached to that whole smear campaign.
Yeah, which was, about gamers and stuff, which was really that immediately set off some red flags in that. Yeah.
I believe the person that made said claims was a ex-writer or a current writer on Witcher. So definitely some drama out there.
Commander says, "Don't take Co's word for it. The stuff is fully unproven." Oh no, I said that. This is all just in a story that somebody's.
Yeah, we're just talking about
saying
the story.
This is fact. Yeah, we're talking about. None of this has been proven. It's just conjecture.
Gamers must
probably all we're gonna
protect
get at the
Giga
end of the day.
Chad, Hollywood person. don't
Yeah.
don't talk
Dude,
shit about Cavill.
I don't. It could be just somebody who got mad at the situation and wanted to smear him a little bit. Like, who knows? I like him. I can't wait to see the 40K stuff. I think that's super cool. He's definitely a guy that has seemingly have proven that he loves bringing the IPs to life, not just that he likes showing off himself on stage.
Right.
So it'll be cool to see a 40K that is hopefully like really 40K, because I mean that IP has so much to offer that has not been explored in that medium. It could be super cool. Like, they're talking about him maybe doing the stuff around the Horus legacy, and like him maybe being the emperor, and like all that stuff that is the foundation of 40K lore would actually have a show.
Yeah.
Which would be super cool, man.
It would.
Pretty badass.
It would. That whole thing has just been wild and weird. Like, the whole DC situation with him going back as Superman, and like The Rock apparently using all this stuff to like try to get a piece of DC behind the scenes, and it's just been a fucking absolute mess the past like 2 weeks. So
that was
yeah,
understandably apparently kind of like, from what I heard, they floated him the cameo in Black Adam, and they were like, hey, look, you're Superman. And then they gave him a call like a few weeks later, and they're like, oh yeah, no, that Superman movie we told you about, it's actually going to be when he's younger, so we can't use you for it.
Yeah.
He was just like, oh, well.
Yeah, now
Cool,
he's out.
Cool.
It's all a mess.
Right.
It's all an absolute mess.
That's cool, I guess.
For sure.
Okay, I'm gonna go make this 40K show. So in other words, it may work out for us at the end of the day. Like,
he's got multiple
sucks
projects.
Yeah, but this may work out for us. We may be okay.
That's exactly right. One last thing. I was buying time here. But I think our Game of the Year stuff is up for the community vote now. I think our website got built. Barry kind of grabbed my mod team over the past week or so, and they hustled and got all this stuff up. So dfgoty.com. If you guys want to log in with your Twitch account, you can go vote. You can break it. You can tell Barry all the things that are wrong with it. There's two things. One, before you ask, Vampire Survivors launched in early access on December 17th, 2021. The game was officially released in 1.0 on October 20th, 2022. That is why it is on there and votable for. And then there was one other thing that apparently there's something about Back for Blood. So I guess Back for Blood didn't launch till this year. Is that right? But it had like early access or betas or something that you could play. But yeah, I believe that's up there as well. If you got questions, you can tweet at the Drop Frames Twitter account, or message one of my mods on my channel, or just ping Barry, as I think he's in kind of everyone's channel. And we'll see how that goes. We'll release all those informations, all the results 2 weeks from now. There's no show next week. On the 1st of January will be our Game of the Year show, where both the community votes as well as our own votes for the categories should all be there. We'll be promoting that on Twitter. Once again, the link is dfgoty.com for all of that. I think that's it. You guys want to talk video games? What we've been playing? I think we've all been playing not much. We're kind of in I guess High on Life was maybe the biggest release this past week. So we could start there. I think
it's really slowed down.
Yeah, I think both of you guys played that. What do you think about the old High on Life? Were you doing a sponsored stream for it, Co? Am I wrong about that? Or did you just play it?
I played it all the way through.
Okay. Oh, you finished it. Got it. How long was High on Life?
You look. I don't think I left it on any point. It took me, and I definitely did not do everything. 11 and a half hours.
Okay. Zeke, how long did you spend with it? An afternoon? Was it an Indie Sunday thing, or?
No. Yeah. Let's see. I have 5.5 hours in it, but about an hour of that was watching a movie, and we're gonna watch it next probably Tuesday. We'll probably start the stream off. I've got a link to the entire movie with the commercials, because the thing is, in the game, I think they actually either bought the rights or it's public domain to a few movies, apparently. But the one that I saw is called Tammy. I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to get it wrong.
Tammy and the T-Rex.
Tammy is it Tammy and the T-Rex? Is that it? Yes, Tammy and the T-Rex. I thought it had like a teenage in there somewhere. But yeah. Tammy and the T-Rex is in the game. You can actually sit down on the couch in your house, in your home base, and watch it. With your like the other
characters, yeah.
The bounty hunter that gives you the first job. And you sit down on the couch and watch with him, and he comments not frequently, but he comments every once in a while if you sit on the couch with him and watch it. But there are apparently that you can watch it in different spots in the game. But if you watch it with him on the couch, he'll comment, and also there are the a fan favorite of Rick and Morty. It feels like it's interdimensional television commercials.
Oh, okay.
So I want to watch it with the commercials in it, and I tried, but apparently there's a bug, and it's a very well-known bug that I got when I got to the commercial part. It would do like do you ever watch USA Up All Night? Like it would have like the movies. It would be like a host of Up All Night, and they would say like before you went to commercial break, it would cut to the host of the thing and be like, "Wasn't that a great thing? If I was that guy, I'd blah 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 blah. All right, here's the commercials," and then they do that before they go to the commercials.
Yeah,
they have that in this. They have like a host, and then they go to the commercial, black screen, and I was like, "God damn it!" Because I was prepared to sit there and watch the rest of it. But we're gonna do that on Tuesday. But the entire movie apparently is in it, and it made the fucking 40 whatever gigabyte download of this game. It make sense a little bit more.
Yeah,
because they have full length movies in there.
Yeah, couple gigs for sure.
Yeah.
Well, movies aside, how's the actual game? From the 5 minutes that I listened to, the characters just talk nonstop. I was incredibly annoyed. Does that change, or is that the game essentially? A bunch of dialogue with some shooty stuff in between.
Yeah, it's very much like did you play Trover Saves the Universe? Whatever.
Nope. I watched you play it, and maybe Code play it a little bit, and it seemed the same exact thing.
Yeah, if you don't like Justin Roiland's style of banter, then you will not like this game. You can turn it off though. You can't, or turn it down. There's a slider. Yeah, there's definitely a menu slider that you can turn banter, like how the frequency of it. How much do you want it? And I have it on frequent because I love it. It jibes with my own sense of humor.
Yeah.
It's very, stuttery and improv and, all that kind of shit, which I enjoy. But yes, I can see how it can get very annoying. The other thing is that people were very happy to tell me that Co needed a FOV slider because it, I don't know how close it is, but it's like 70, 75 or something like that on the FOV, rather than like the common 90 or around thereabouts.
Yeah.
You're really kind of zoomed in a little bit, and I'll be honest, like I could play it, but it was definitely like a little. I felt a little bit of like motion queasy, not severe at all, but definitely felt it. So I don't know if they're going to add that in. I'm sure there's people who want it enough that maybe they have like messaged on the message boards or whatever and said like, "Can you please add an FOV slider?" And Co could probably go into it. I never mess with it, but did you have to go into like an INI file to like change that shit?
Yeah. So first you have to inject an DLL file that allows you to bring in the console, and then you can force change the FOV in the console, and then you have to use Cheat Engine to edit a memory array to lock the FOV so it doesn't change every time you zoom in or sprint.
Jeez. Okay.
And anytime you die or zone or the game does a cutscene change FOV, you have to do the whole process.
That's a lot. Yeah. So were you just getting sick, Co? Was that it was giving you motion sickness?
I realized towards the end of the first session that I played it, like I was definitely feeling queasy. Like my head was starting to spin a little bit, and The thing is it's a very colorful game. It's very bright, and there's tons of animations where, like, if you reload a gun, it's not just like reload the gun. It's like reload the gun. So you're constantly in motion. You're constantly moving. And the FOV is so zoomed in that it's super uncomfortable.
Huh.
So I had to change the FOV for me to continue playing this game. I would not have been able to play the game without the FOV. This is the bad FOV right now.
Well, I was going to ask, is this the first time that's ever happened to you?
Yeah. In terms of like a first person shooter, absolutely.
Yeah, I've never heard you talk about that before.
It's one of the first times. I'm normally pretty like, now of course the first thing I do in a game like this is always change the FOV. So if a game forces me to stay in that super zoomed in FOV, that's when there'll be a problem. But in most games, especially these days, give you an FOV slider. Like I talk about my thoughts video, it's an accessibility thing. It's not like an option for PC gamers. It's I'm sitting like a foot and a half from my monitor, dude. I can't have like a 60-degree freaking thing in there when, again, the game's super bright, it's very colorful, the graphics are great, and all the animations move you around anyway. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
Well, FOV aside, dialogue aside, how's the game? Like, is it just your average shooter? Is there any like special sauce to it, or is it what you kind of expected if you've seen the trailers?
Me being like 3 or 4 hours into the actual gameplay of it, it's a gorgeous, like, it's gorgeously laid out. Like
here's a preview, by the way, of ads on Game Pass. This is
there you go. Yeah,
this is what
this was super annoying. Thankfully, you only have to do it for a little bit. But the gameplay itself is pretty average. They did add, like, as you get more items and trick out your bounty hunter suit. It's a little bit like Metroid. You like add shit to your suit, and like you can dash and grapple and stuff like that. Once you get a few of those, it becomes a lot more fun because of the locomotion of the main character. You get to move faster, you can swing, you can slide, you can do all this kind of stuff. Starting off, it's a little bit plodding, a little slow. Once you get a couple of those, you can clip along pretty good. But as far as like the challenge and the shooting and stuff, I've gotten to, like, I think maybe one boss thus far, and it was a fun fight. And apparently the boss fights coming up are also pretty fun. But this game could not survive alone without its humor, without the dialogue at all.
Oh, okay, that carries it.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Code, does gameplay change much having finished it, or is it same throughout?
The game does have some evolving mechanics, especially there's like movement mechanics that evolve a little bit. There's 5 or 6 different weapons total, and they each have alt fire modes you can kind of play with. They upgrade as well. But the thing about this game that kind of shoots it in the foot a little bit is, even though the amount of enemies evolve, they never really change. They only add on. So even in like the very last encounters of the game, you're still fighting the enemies you fought at the very beginning of the game, just with like other enemies with them. So it gives this kind of fake, weird feeling of like not really progressing, like you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Which I found a little not great. The gameplay, though, like especially with the new FOV, it was fun. It was pretty standard shooty. The later movement mechanics in the game add a lot of motion to it. You're constantly zipping around and stuff. So I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, this is not a game you really get for the gameplay. It is definitely a game you get if you're a fan of the type of comedy from Rick and Morty. And it basically at that point becomes like a giant 10+ hour joke. There are definitely some misses. I mean, there's going to be when you try to make something 10 hours straight. But at the same time, there's a lot of hits. Like there's a lot of shit in this game that is absolutely hilarious. It had me like laughing in tears at times. There's comedy that's incredibly awkward. There is comedy that is extremely edgy, and I don't mean like societally edgy. I mean like the subject matter they're joking about is like holy shit, dude. Like there's some very dark comedy.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much all like a Rick and Morty episode. If you're a Rick and Morty fan, I think that you will probably really enjoy this game beginning to end. especially if you like FPSs.
And also
if you're
there
not a
are-
Rick and Morty fan, the gameplay is not enough to be like, play this game. Like it's
Yeah.
really all about the comedy. Yeah.
Okay.
There are some video game trope nods as well, like that you can really tell like Justin Roiland plays video games and knows his tropes and his memes and shit like that. One of like, I guess, minor ancillary character spoiler, but like you go into the first like big enemy area, and on your way there you encounter this really annoying thing, and it's your like tutorial on shooting, and it's like the guy is being super annoying and he calls attention to it. In this game, the fourth wall is non-existent. It's like
Nice.
the fourth wall is like an idea that is made of air, you know, like, so there's definitely like, I'm annoying, shoot me, all I want to be is shot, shoot me, don't you want to shoot me, I'm annoying. And then you go and meet this other character, like, wasn't that guy annoying, why didn't you shoot him? Like, if you don't shoot him, because I didn't.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not gonna shoot you, I'm not gonna give you the satisfaction. I walk by, someone was like, please shoot that guy, it's really annoying. Like, oh, okay. So like it definitely has video game callbacks or call to. And it's very self-aware. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It also has references to different things, like there in this very pawn shop, there's a puzzle, like a jigsaw puzzle that makes a reference to another, like a movie, and it's great. I had got a good chuckle out of it. So there's a lot of different references to movies, pop culture, video games, everything. And I'm a sucker for that shit. And I love like the innuendo jokes. What do they call the trick hole? That's right.
The trick hole?
The secondary fire of your very first gun. You get a secondary fire of like a glob that comes out. So you go, it's like a pew pew pew, and then if you do the secondary fire, it's like this glob. Now he calls it the gun calls it his trick hole. It's like, oh, shoot that glob out of my trick hole. It's just overly sexualized. And yes, doozers. They have giant doozers in the game for some reason. I don't know. I'm sure they have to be doozers. They look exactly like them, except 10 times bigger or 100 times bigger.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the innuendos are aplenty. The juvenile, adolescent, teenage person's like fart and poop jokes, they're in there. And I was
so
sucking
really
for that shit. So
it's high IQ commentary throughout the entire game.
It's so many people came into my chat going, I was waiting for you to play this. It's a game for you. And I went, I'm pretty sure I knew that.
This game speaks to you, Zeke. I knew it speaks to you. Yeah, that sounds about right. You gonna finish it on
and like
on stream, Zeke?
Yeah. I'm continuing it on Tuesday.
Cool.
And I'm honestly I'm in no rush to finish it. I'm going to take my time. I'm gonna try and see everything. I'm one of those cats who will, like, one of the first things I did when I got into that pawn shop that you saw was just, I sat there, not moving, just listening to the back and forth banter between the two employees of the pawn shop.
Yeah.
And there are miles of pages of dialogue in this game that you probably would never hear unless you just stopped and let them keep talking.
That's what I expected.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Well, it's on Game Pass, so if you have Game Pass, you can grab this. But what can you buy it outside of that? Is it a full like $60, $70 product?
I believe it's 60.
Okay.
Let me just make sure here.
Yeah.
It is $59.99 on Steam.
Cool.
Yep.
Apart from the FOV,
And I was one of the dumbasses who actually bought it because I was like, "There's no way this is gonna be on Game Pass."
Well, you seem to be the target audience, so that's fine. You support
the target dumbass. That's me.
Yeah, you support it.
Yeah, exactly. Good. I don't mind. I mean, fuck it. I'll give them some money to make if they make a good game that I'm enjoying. Hell yeah.
Performance-wise, it's all good apart from the FOV stuff, though. It ran well for both of you. No FPS drops or anything like that. Yeah. Cool. That is.
I have when you ask that question, JP. Like, I always have like a caveat when I answer it because I play all of my games at 60. 60 refresh, 60 FPS, all that stuff, because that's what my capture card handles, and that's the best that anyone can see on Twitch.
Right.
So,
yeah,
I don't. It's very rare that I play a game in the 144 or above hertz or refresh that I can with my monitor and computer and stuff, because stream won't be able to notice that.
yeah. I think 60s accepted, right? Like that's fine.
Yeah.
That's, when I say it runs well, that works.
I get very, very little drops ever because of the 60 cap that I put on most games.
Yeah, yeah. Cole, what else you been playing? What could we pull up? What do you want to discuss?
Started playing Dark and Darker.
Yesterday what do you think of that? Let's talk about that. I'll spoil how. Let's talk about that piece of shit. How do you like Dark and Darker?
I like it better than Tarkov.
Okay, so it's a polished turd, is what you're saying.
I actually, it's all the stuff I like about Tarkov, and a lot of things that I don't.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty awesome. I really love where it's going. I really love what's there. I started today playing a solo rogue, which is
Okay.
a tough class to play solo. But I mean, I killed a whole group today, and it
Oh,
felt miraculous. And then I killed the guy that came to loot them. Like, it is literally a PvPvE game that is D&D. It's Dungeons and Dragons, essentially. There's a fighter, barbarian, rogue, mage, cleric, and wizard. And you can get really good loot everywhere. There's like tons of traps. There's mimics. There's loot all over the place. It's Tarkov in the fact that you need to escape, but there's a ring, so you're constantly kind of having to move towards the center. The rogue is really, really fun because they actually have a straight up invis. So like what I do is, I'll sneak around on my rogue. I'll be doing my best to, there's getting hit by a trap. Nice. I will, do my best to find out where people are. And then if I feel them coming my way, I'll get in a corner and I'll hide and I'll let them go by, and they'll just like be sneaking by with their bow drawn looking for somebody. Then I'll sneak up behind them, stab in the back of the head a few times and take all their loot. And I mean, it's a really fun, quick, exciting game. And the thing that I also absolutely love about playing solo is the time from dying to getting into a new game can be like less than a minute. I kid you not. You die, you start and hit the play. Within less than 30 seconds, you're in one of these right here. Just it's only 16 players, so they fill up really fast. And then that starts right there. You get into the game, and boom, you're at the start of a game again.
Yeah.
So, you level up even if you don't escape. There's a whole bank of perks and stuff to let you customize your class. You don't need to be good at aiming, which is phenomenal. Well, you sort of do as a rogue, but you don't for a lot of classes. Like with barbarians and fighters, like there are headshots and stuff, but it is by no means like a Tarkov style thing. I really love that all the combat is visceral. And unlike Tarkov, I almost always know exactly why I died. Like, it's not a situation where you're just running around and all of a sudden you die and you have no idea who headshot you from a mile and a half away with a thermal scope. It's like, if you die, you know pretty much exactly why you died. It also says it in the top right, which is super handy too. But yeah, I've been really enjoying it. I can't wait to play more tomorrow, and probably going to start trying some of the new classes. I also want to try some group play. Apparently it's a lot of fun in a group. I've never done that myself, but sounds like it could be really cool. There's 3 classes I haven't even tried yet.
Yeah.
I know it's in the title, but you have to have light sources. Okay, I was like, Dark and Darker is really fucking dark. I can't see
not only is it really dark, but I actually will frequently go around and put out torches and stuff so I can sneak around. Like if you don't have potions on you because they don't glow, and then you put out a torch and hide in a corner, if the person doesn't have a light source, they won't see you. I've had people like be staring at me or where I am and then just run right by me because they didn't see me. Because I'll be like crouched in a corner and stuff. It's a lot of fun, dude. And what's even cooler is it's clearly very much still in development. So a lot of like fun, more stuff is still on the way and coming. So
since the combat
it's cool.
It's closer, a lot of melee and stuff. Have you found are teabags making a resurgence?
You really don't have a lot of time to teabag in this game.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
Yeah, like you pretty much want to loot and scoot as fast as you can. There's a lot of things that put you at risk, especially other players. The sound design is great too, so you can kind of like hear when things are going on. But yeah, it's you usually just want to kind of like loot and scoot.
You got to have a passion for it. It's something you got to make time for.
Exactly.
That's right. Yeah.
Way to say it.
Like, I'm gonna forego that treasure chest because I have a calling. and that calling is teabagging.
Yes. You've got a fever, and the only cure is testicles on someone else's forehead.
That's right.
Yes.
My thoughts after spending 30 minutes with the game and all F4ing out, take everything Co said and it's just the opposite. And those are my thoughts on Dark and Darker. I've been told that's how the game is. Like people really, it's a love/hate game across the board. So
why? Tell me what your experience was, because you said 30 minutes.
They're about 30 to an hour, something like that.
Bullet pointed. Walk us through the entire 30 minutes.
I mean, I didn't have the best first impression because I loaded in, spawned into a game, and like got into a fight, and then the servers went down for an hour. So like that just sucks.
I tried 3 times to play this game, and every time the servers were down.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of testing. That's it's an early access game. That's to be expected. I don't consider that a fault of the game. They're just testing things. They're trying to get their servers to fix or fixing problems, whatever. That's fine. It is whatever it is. I just like the game just felt clunky in all aspects. Like I did not play the rogue. Admittedly, this combat in terms of the actual like swings seems a little bit faster. I played a ranger and died. A ranger, essentially, you have to draw your arrow and pull back. When you do that, you move slower. So you have to learn the animations of everything attacking you so that you can actually get your shots in properly without taking a shit ton of damage. Didn't enjoy that. So then I swapped to the fighter, warrior, whatever the most basic class in the game. I think it's fighter. I think it might be warrior. Not berserker, because there's like 2 melee. The guy with the sword and shield.
Fighter, yeah.
Yeah, and I spawned in, and I guess I had the same spawn 3 times in a row. So I did the same exact thing that kind of happened. Killed a guy, died to... There's a boss like right around the corner, what chat said was a boss, and first time I didn't realize it was a boss. He one-shot me. Second time I had someone that I killed train him into me, and then I died to the boss. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. That's Dark and Darker. Like, I understand exactly what this game is, and it's not something I want to play. So,
did you play a lot of Tarkov? I can't remember.
I played a decent amount. Yeah, I don't know where my let's look on Steam.
Okay. Because it seems like Tarkov would be a similar experience.
Wait, you can't look on Steam.
For me, like you run in and you die, and then you run in and you die, and then you run in and you die, and then you get like a little bit, like tiny bit better every time, a little bit more aware of what you want to do and all that kind of shit. And was that similar to this?
I think that's similar. Yeah, Co can kind of speak to that because there are skills. There is like a skill tree in the game, and I would assume those skills benefit you greatly as you go into each round, because you can do more things and do things better. I just didn't have the interest of logging in and doing that, doing those things to be better.
Can you do teams?
Yes,
Yeah,
and that's what everyone
players.
told me. And to me, that's a big red flag. If the game is quote unquote at its best with friends, that means it's a fun with friends game and the game's bad, right? Like that's how I look at things. Which is a rather hardcore experience or a rather hardcore view, but
It's understandable.
yeah. Like if a game's not fun solo, then don't make it solo playable, right? Like make it multiplayer so you can always matchmake with people. Granted, that might come later. Game's very early on in early access.
Oh, so there's no matchmaking. You go in and you say you're on a team.
I think you have to pre-queue with friends.
Okay.
Co, is that correct? Do you know? I think
That
that's
is
how it
correct.
works. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll go in solo and you'll come upon like a team of 2 or 3 and they'll just fucking whoop your ass then.
I think so. Yeah, I never encountered a group. And I think they changed something about group play Co this time around. Do you know what that is? Chat was saying that they've changed so there's no like group portals out or something. And that changed how like gameplay works for groups.
I don't know. I don't play in a team. I play solo.
Yeah,
So I'm not sure.
yeah. Something about group play changed this beta, this whatever this is, this instance of the game. but I don't know enough about it.
Someone in my chat said so salty for 30 minutes. Now,
I'm not salty.
The
I'm
thing is-
talking
no, no,
about
no,
the game.
no, but the thing is, like, I wanted the reason why I pointed that out is because it's a familiar experience to, like, I will try a game that everyone is just fucking loving, and I play, I'm 30 like hour whatever, and I'm like, I don't understand how the fuck you can enjoy something like this. Like, this doesn't make sense to me.
Oh, I
that's
mean, I
a
understand how
familiar
people
thing
can
to
enjoy
me.
it. Yeah, I think diminishing my commentary to it is salty just means you're an idiot. So like, I'm already writing that opinion off completely. But
here's the thing.
Thankfully, they're in my chat, so they already know that.
Yeah, they'll never be in mine. So
They're
it's fine.
already an idiot.
Oh, this is the throwing dagger kill. Throwing dagger.
Throw him in the back.
Do it. Do it. No, but like
Nice.
as people here's the thing, and we talk about this in my chat all the time. A lot of people don't understand that it is entirely okay for people not to like the games you like. But there's another step to this equation. Not only is it okay, but you don't have to defend your game
Yeah.
or your opinion.
I thought I was
Did you
about to get a
notice-
classic
did you
cold
know-
troll, but why can't I say that? Co-troll. But I agree with you 100% with what you're saying.
No. I mean, like in JP, you know, he said, I think everything opposite of this game that you did. Cool. It's not my job to convince him to like the game or to try it again.
Yeah.
He had a horrible experience and he doesn't want to play it anymore. Great. I'm still loving the game and playing it tomorrow. He's never going to play it again.
Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't mean he was salty. It means he logged in. He told us why he didn't like it. And it's nobody's job to convince him otherwise.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? Do you like the game? Awesome. Great. I'm thrilled for you. We'll play it together maybe and I'll stab you in the face. But it doesn't,
Maybe
it doesn't mean you don't have to get together and make other people play the game. It doesn't matter. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Maybe I was attributing, like, maybe I was projecting, because I do feel salty. Like, when that shit happens to me, I feel very salty. Like, that would be an accurate description.
In the sense that you
of
don't
me
enjoy
trying to play Tarkov and, like, putting it down after 30 minutes and just being like, what the fuck?
Oh.
You know, like, I'd be upset.
Yeah, I refused to engage with the game at that point. I knew what it was. And like for me
This part's I hate. This part is triggering.
that guy hit me in the back with a fireball and it was like
These guys
80%
are like,
damage. I was like, oh, okay.
there it is.
Oh,
Look
exactly
look
what
at
just
my life.
happened.
There you go. Boom.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, screw it. I'm dead anyway. So like, let me go in and at least try to kill this guy before I get killed, right? And I just go in and he just laughs at me and throws another fireball and kills me.
Now, can you dodge those fireballs or is no, you can't.
No, you can't. You can't. If he's looking the other way and he does this, the fireball will go behind him and hit you wherever you are, and then you're on fire and there's a dot on the ground and it's just the worst thing.
I mean, that's a classic fireball, right? Like it does a lot of AoE damage. If anything, that's true to if they're trying to capture the like D&D experience, it's true to the D&D experience. Can you cast fireballs yourself as a wizard? Do you know? I know you don't play
Wizards have a variety of spells.
Okay.
I don't know if they have like a fireball, but they have a variety of spells. I saw what was it? I was lurking in, I think, Grimm's stream. There's a whole group of streamers that are playing this all the time. Grimm's, Laquisha, Anthony Kongpan, like all those guys. They're great.
The
at
usual
game.
suspects.
And the usual suspects for this kind of stuff. And I think it was Grimm's that had a spell book up, and there's like a bunch of spells. It's not just like a few spells. Like there's like a knowledge stat, and you can get that up, and that unlocks new spells. And there's like there's books and all sorts of things. It's wild, man. I'm looking forward to trying one eventually.
Cool.
I got
actually
destroyed by a wizard today by some lightning shit. I have no idea what happened. Like I was like charging him and I was like, oh, I got this guy. And then he just goes zap. And I just like 80% of my health. Just
A
dead
shocking
instantly.
grasp to the face.
I have no idea.
That was
man. He
seriously
destroyed
the tipping for me. I heard about the game, heard I might like it, and then lightning bolts and fireballs, and I was like, I'm in now. Okay.
Yeah.
I just now I requested access, and it was just immediate. I was
Yeah,
like,
you get
okay,
in
I'll wait for the
immediately.
email. But I just like request access, like boop, here you go. I was like, all right, so I'm downloading it after.
Yeah,
after
if
the-
anyone wants
the
to
show
jump
today.
in, just you got download Steam.
Oh yeah,
or download it on
playing
Steam.
tomorrow
And
morning. I'm playing tonight. It's like around 6 or 6:30. If you want to get some rounds in, so you can just mess around. It's a lot of
Dude,
fun.
yeah, absolutely. I'm not streaming, so yeah, I'll jump in. Show me the ropes. Send me a DM.
Just like most of my games, we'll probably just get our ass kicked 9 out of 10 times.
Hey, that's totally fine. If it's me and you, totally fine. I feel like
Awesome.
when JP plays, I want to impress him.
Yeah, and you never do. That's why I can't play.
I know. I never do, and it hurts so bad.
You never do. It's just the God's honest truth. Yeah. Have you interacted with the traders much at all, Co, within the game? Because it does have like the trader system from Tarkov.
So this is kind of wild. So there is a trader system. Oh, this guy. Hold on. I don't remember. I think I just closed the door. Oh, no. Oh, this is when I had my skeleton fight for me. I decided to become a necromancer, and I had a skeleton fight on my behalf. And I think it actually worked. We'll see here in a second. But yeah, so there's traders. Well, sort of. This guy was fighting a skeleton, and I decided to let him fight the skeleton, and then I acted like I was telling the skeleton what to do and going in and stabbing too. But then my worker turned on me like an asshole. But then I backed up enough, and he was like, okay, I'll go after this guy a little more. So that made him kind of like chill out, and I was telling him, how to beat the guy and work harder. And
is there proximity voice?
No, there's not, unfortunately.
Oh, so you were just talking.
I wish there was. Yeah. So then he killed my worker, so I had to kill him, obviously. But yeah, so that was that experience. But yeah, so there's standard Tarkov vendors, but then I just found today, chat was like, go to the trader, right? Go check out the trader. And I was like, the trade chat. I was like, trade chat? What are you talking about? So then I opened up the trade chat. It was literally 400 people in a chat room spamming linked items, like actually trading with each other, like an old school MMO. It was crazy. So there's like a whole actual trading community that have like people that find items and sell them to each other for gold.
Oh, they're selling like items they found.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How much?
Just a giant spamming list of like linked items with gold amounts next to them.
I know they're using like the standard like rarity, like green, blue, red. I would assume there's legendary, orange or whatever, yellow.
Orange. Yep.
Have you interacted with any of those items?
Purple and orange, I think, and then gray and white.
Is that just a damage variance, or like are there?
Oh no, there's all sorts of substats on them too. Yeah, there's like armor pen, extra damage. There's a whole stat system, and you can get extra stats on them. There's amulets and rings and all sorts of stuff. I think somebody in chat was saying earlier they've got like big plans for the itemization of the game, like potentially like set bonuses in the future and actual effects on weapons and things like that. So yeah, it's a lot. Standard RPG stuff.
Are you always human, or are there elves, dwarves, like?
Right now it's only human, but there are like skeletons that you can buy with in-game currency. And somebody did say that that races is something again coming down, but the game's pretty early in development, so I don't know for sure.
Okay.
Right now, yeah, you just pick a class, not a race.
Yeah, this is only the third test they've done. Is third or fourth, I think. They've only done very little, and as far as I know, they haven't charged for any of them. You just have to like request access for it, and now it seems rather.
So that skeleton died super easily, which generally means a player attacked it and died to it, and then you go up just a little bit. Oh, look, there he is. There's a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
how's the inventory management? Is it can you auto sort, or is it Tetris?
There's no auto sorting. It is pretty much Tetris, but you don't get a huge amount of loot, so I don't find myself too often like having to do too much craziness. You get to a point where like
you're bad, or because there's not a lot of loot.
I mean, there have been runs when I've had to like decide a little of both, little column A, little column B. But you basically just don't pick up loot you're not going to use if you're not going to use it or equip it, or if it's not like a color like green, blue, or purple. And then there's a whole bunch of just like money loot. There's potions, there's traps, there's like all sorts of stuff. I think that guy right there, if you see right ahead of me, I just basically crouched down and stealth and he didn't see me. So then I'm going to run up and try to stab him in the face. This is a rogue fight! Rogue fight! So this is two rogues going at it. I'm pretty sure that he kills me. And then if you look in the top right.
You kill him. Do you have poison?
My poison killed him. Yep. We killed each other at the same time. It was
nobody wins.
Or we both do.
True.
Or the real winner is the person
whoever
who
loots
up on both of our corpses.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Two full corpses.
Someone in my chat
forgot the first rule: never get into a land war in Asia, and don't get into a rogue fight with poison blades.
It's true. Right. Someone in my chat just said the guy who's making this, his claim to fame is that he created loot boxes when working with FIFA. He says this game is his penance for that. That's kind of cool.
Ha!
I didn't know that. Yeah, it's a fun little statistic about the game. Do you know if the maps change at all, Co? Or is it one set map at the moment?
Don't know. I think it's a set map. If it's not a set map, it's very modular, we'll say. Yeah, set maps, chat saying. Set maps.
Okay. One set map or set maps plural chat.
I think there's like a few.
Okay,
There's like a handful of maps. Yeah.
got it.
I'm seeing
They
two,
have
I'm
like
seeing
similar
three.
stuff.
It's an area with 3
Also,
variations.
3 or 4.
I really have to say, I fucking love how the minimap looks because it reminds
Right?
me of
Old school.
my,
Yep.
It's old
my
school.
the Ruins of Undermountain module I got for D&D second edition. I had the maps
dude.
just like on the ceiling in my bedroom when I was a kid, and I would just sit there and like while I was falling asleep, I'd look at the maps and like imagine me going through the dungeons and shit, and it looked just like that.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Cool. It's dark and darker. Play it. When does this go till? Monday? Is it a week long thing?
23rd. Yeah, so we've got about 5 days left.
Yeah, so Friday. Next Friday. Or this coming Friday, rather. Not next Friday. Cool. That's dark and darker. We're kind of due for a break. Here, I'll sneak in Street Fighter 6 convo here because it's very short. Did you jump in at all, Co? Are you planning to
No,
jump in?
I saw your tweet.
Yeah, so maybe it's not a quick thing. Within Street Fighter and within a lot of like recent fighting games, they have put in quote unquote like modern controls. That is what it's called in Street Fighter 6, which essentially means that you can auto combo stuff. So if you press like XXXXX, it's going to do an auto combo for you and do less damage than if you were to input that combo yourself. But for my struggle with it, at least this beta, whereas I didn't really encounter it in the first one, is that when fighting people, it harkens back, and I think there's a core memory here for me with my brother who would just do the same combo, right? Like he would just do the same combo over and 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 be successful. That's essentially what happened with the like hour and a half that I spent, where it was me not on modern controls, not having the auto combo stuff, and the handful of fighters that I was facing having the auto combo stuff. And so it just really sucks from a learning the game process when your opponent is just hitting X and finding success, and you're like on the other side with bad inputs, not blocking, doing all the wrong things that you're not supposed to do, and failing because of that. And it was just incredibly frustrating to do. Coupled with the fact that the second beta doesn't have any new characters in it. It's mostly more of a network test. I think they added crossplay this time around. And it seems to work all right from everything that I saw. Pretty much done with the second kind of beta. That game, I think, when's that game come out? Next summer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
I'll probably hopefully jump into future tests to see if they add new characters to kind of figure out all that stuff. June 2nd. Thank you, chat. But yeah, short and sweet. The auto combo stuff really sucks. I don't know. We'll see. I think if you're facing like auto combo versus auto combo, it allows for more people to have fun and success with the game. But as someone who is like bad at the game and trying to learn to play, it's a fucking struggle to fight against that stuff, and also incredibly infuriating. So my time to quit was much faster this time around.
You can't like differentiate that in like you're queuing up like if you are auto comboing or not.
No, and I wish that was a thing that you could face like no auto combo, no modern control users, or they hide it. If they hit it, then that might be better, but it's pretty easy to tell when the damage is not that much and they're doing like a 10-hit combo or something like that by just pressing the same button. Because the damage is scaled down. That doesn't mean that it's still not. If they open you up, they're going to do a 10-hit combo, and you're along for the ride at that part.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So they nerf it a bit if you're auto comboing.
Yes. Yeah. The damage is scaled back so that it's not, you're not doing the same damage as someone who actually would be performing that combo. And like, doing all the proper ways to do that rather than just hitting X 10 times.
Do you think that it would be better to take it down even further or just queue with people who aren't doing it?
I don't know what the answer is.
I think making it so you can't queue with that are people that are using it would probably be one of the best ways to do it.
But then you're segmenting ranked, and at that point, that like any segmentation to the player base kind of sucks. So I don't know
So
what the
turn it
answer
off
is.
whenever the enemy player is below 50% health.
Maybe it really changes the game completely at that point. So I don't know. Maybe the answer, chat said modern controls don't belong in ranked. Maybe like there is casual queue and there is ranked queue. So maybe that's the answer. You can't enter into ranked if you have modern. I don't know.
Makes
It
sense.
seems like they just made everybody Eddie Gordo.
In a lot of ways, yeah. That's exactly right. With like some scaled back damage. I'm really curious, like what someone like Maximilian or an actual fighting game player that understands the game at a much more complex way that I do, kind of think about modern controls, because really the only people that it's going to affect are people like myself. Like if you're actually good at fighting games, you just block, or you know what to do in that situation, and you'll never encounter that. It really only hurts the bad players who are trying to learn the game without modern controls. So it's kind of a small subset of people. So maybe nothing changes at all, and they just kind of launch with it. Because the reason that they exist is so that whoever picks up the game, regardless of their experience, can find success in said game and do the things that look cool, rather than just looking like an absolute idiot while trying to learn the game. And that's a big selling point for a game like Street Fighter, which is going to have a massive audience of people that are inherently bad at fighting games. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I'm curious to see if they change anything on it. And just go ahead and move forward with it. Because if I sat there and grinded it out and actually learned how to play against it for 24, 48 hours, could probably do so. I just don't know if I want to have the frustration alongside of learning that, because fighting games are a talk about salty. Fighting games are a mountain of salt. In a one-on-one scenario, there's no other position that'll form that salt faster, for me at least. So
Yeah.
That's kind of Street Fighter.
Fighting games have only ever been fun for me when both of the participants are going in with no experience and just trying to figure shit out, because goddamn, man, like it's one of those things that like speedrunning is, you got to know the minorest of minutia details to like what to look for, everything, every single nanosecond of move sets are broken down and important. Shit like that is just crazy.
Yeah. Let's take a break, and we'll come back and get some other games. I think play a little bit more Midnight Suns. Did we talk about Midnight Suns last week briefly?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah. Zeke, you did Indie Sunday yesterday. You've been playing a bunch of stuff. I think Co's got more stuff on his list as well. So
what I've been playing.
Yeah, we'll discuss.
Crisis Core, man.
Oh, for some reason I thought you just meant Crisis. I was like, why are you playing Crisis?
No.
Yeah, Crisis Core. That's right. We'll talk about that and more when we come back. And maybe Crisis as well. Maybe that was on Zeke's Indie Sunday. You never know. It gets crazy over there. More Dot Frames coming up right after this. We'll see you guys then.